All right, how's everybody doing? Hope your New Year's was really good and safe. Mine was. I stayed at home and worked on the car. Well, I've got everything blocked out. Most of the stuff turned out really well, I believe. Of course, I've got, there again, I said it. I said, and I'll probably say like. There's a few people that are interested in me not doing that so much, and I'll try my best, not promising nothing. Anyway, where the quarter panels led in here and over there, the lead was really humped up, so we have a little bit of a imperfection on both sides. I was going to leave it alone. I went ahead and dolled it up a little bit. I had a little bit of a high spot right through here and a little bit of waviness that I'd never noticed. So this is a little excessive, I believe, but again, I believe it's factory. So my plan is the trunk, the body shell, and the hood that's over there. I've got places marked like this is going to be high build primer, probably 2 coats. 2 coats of high build primer right through here, over there. I'll probably do 2 coats here because I've had body work through there. A lot of body work on this side. You can see where the Bondo is a little high and I had a little bit of a low spots, all that kind of thing. 2 coats there, 2 coats here on both the bottom of my quarter panels. I'll do 2 coats here. I'm going to also do 2 coats of full strength high build in the corners of these hoods just to help this out a little bit of this issue here. Just a little bit of high spots and stuff. Not a real big deal. I think I get 2 coats on it. 2 coats here on the front of the hood where I had some body work going on. Then the rest, for the most part, everything else that's bare metal is just going to get spot primed with a coat of a little bit of reducer in it. That way it flows out really nice, and it'll basically, those areas will be ready for wet sanding along with everything else that's not bare metal. Now, of course, I'll go and block over all my spots that I know need blocked and then reprime them if I have to. Spot prime them is probably the word I should say. So I got the garage going. Got it all warmed up in here. It's about 20 degrees outside. So Wednesday night, rough day at work. Most days at work nowadays have been pretty rough. I don't know what the deal with that is. Maybe it's just the time of year, but I don't remember it being so rough. So I'm going to try to knock this out and go home. Yeah, this is my house. It's my home, but my fiance, that's where she's at. That's my home. My dogs and all that stuff. Give me 3.2 seconds and we'll have this done. That's how fast I am. There we go. I got it reprimed. This whole section of this quarter panel that was so rough. Of course, it's got the high build on it. High build, all the places I told you. Turned out pretty good. I had a little trouble with my trusty siphon gun, so I grabbed a HVLP gun that a buddy of mine, Mike Myers, gave me and said, well, try this. And I believe it's only a 1.4 tip, but I opened up the feed all the way, of course, as far as I could, and it actually turned out pretty decent. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go get me one of those. Of course, the cup was leaking on his really bad, and I got a couple drips in it, but not too big of a deal, really. but I think the stuff that I've got reprimed, probably what I'll do is block it, block everything, all the new stuff, with probably like 320 or something really not very aggressive. Then we'll wet sand it. Now I haven't done the doors or the fenders yet. I'm going to do them separate. I just need to get, I don't have enough room to work in here, so we'll get this hood out of here or against the wall. I don't know, something. Well, we'll check right back with you and see if something interesting else goes on. Who knows? Good morning, everybody. Well, Saturday morning. I don't know what time it is. Probably about 7. I've been up since, I don't know, 5:45. I'm gonna get going, get back to my house and get to working on this car. So all my extra time goes to that for a little while. We got to get that thing done. So let me get my coffee down, get my oatmeal ate. I'm trying to be healthy. I need a little bit of oatmeal, a little something in the mornings. So let's get going. See what we can get done today. All right. Got the garage warmed up. I just reprimed this hood, most of the car and the deck lid, just I don't know, 4 days ago. So it's not really ready to get blocked out yet because the stuff is still just a little bit soft. But I wanted to, what I want to do is get this hood in the house. I thought about putting it up against the wall or something like that, and I guess I still might do that. But look at this thing, you know, it's huge. I need to get it out of my way, and it's, for the most part, you know, I've got a few places where I just kind of rough block sanded it, went over it, got all the high spots knocked off of it. Then it might need a little bit of touch-up priming. Other than that, it's ready for wet sanding. So I want it protected. I'm just not ready to paint right now. If I think shop-wise, if I was ready to paint, I would go ahead and paint this hood while it's in here and up, and then put it in the house. But I still have a little water problem, so I've got a little bit of a hillbilly air cooler. Goes way up there, and then hopefully water vapor is condensing, and we'll go ahead and get trapped by my little cheesy separator there. You know, and if it doesn't, that's okay, because I've got a high quality, large water separator. I've got a couple good guns that I'm going to be getting here in about another week. So I'm not even really wanting to reprime anything. I've had too much water issues, and the reason is it's so cold in this garage. The air in the tank's cold. The tank's cold. So when it heats up, I have air vapor or water vapors, and when it comes to the atmosphere fast, it condenses straight into water. So I think that's what I've got going on, is the temperature difference. The compressor's just heating up the air. So hopefully this will help a little bit, and if it doesn't, you know, I have a plan. Anyhow, I want to get this hood out, get the trunk lid in the house, get both of them out of the way. I'm going to yank the fenders off, and they're just temporarily on there. Then work on the door alignment. And the reason I want to do that is I don't want to have to try to adjust these doors. Oops. I don't want to have to try to adjust these doors after they're painted. And they're relatively close now, but they need some attention. And I'm hoping, and I don't know if you can see in there, my pin, the pins go up. So the head of the pin is on the inside of each door, or pointed towards each other. Hoping I can get it adjusted right and I can grab a hold of that pin and knock it out. That way, once everything's painted, all I have to do is slide the door on there, knock the pin in, and we're done with it, you know. So let's see how that goes. Anyway, get something moved around, cleaned up, done something. I'll get back to you. That hood's starting. Every time I work on something, it has its spots in it, but it's getting better and better. All right, now it's Sunday. Got one door blocked out, ready for a reprime. Some imperfections and such going on. Not too bad though. Started on my second door, and this is the one that I think I showed in a previous video. I had a crack right through here, and of course by the time I've got around to fixing it, the crack was almost all the way up to here and all the way down here, and I was kind of worried that it was my sheet metal had cracked. Maybe there was a weld there or something, but of course I don't remember how I fixed what doors, but I'm pretty sure this was my second door that I fixed, and I went all the way across. So if there was going to be a crack in the sheet metal, it would have been, you know, this way. But I think what happened, and I should have turned, once I ground it down, I should have showed you guys. The primer is pretty thick, you know, and I don't think it was the primer. I think I had, you know, I Duraglassed on top of it just like you're supposed to, and I could see about 5 layers of Bondo, me trying to get this filled in. And I think what happened is I tried straight blocking from here all the way over to there, which isn't a bad idea. Problem is this door isn't the same here as it's supposed to be here. It's actually a little bit, it's just different. And I learned that on the other side for the other 2 doors, that they were actually different. So I tried making it the same from here to there. And what happened is this Bondo was too thick. The Bondo gets more than a, you know, eighth of an inch thick, it's going to crack. And that's what it did. So it was a mistake. I ground this all the way back down to metal. I Duraglassed it 2 times and feathered this end out so that it's all, you know, copacetic, and my Bondo's not too thick. You know, it's just a lesson I've learned, and here I've got to refix it. But it's just part of it, you know. Some imperfections going on. Otherwise this door wasn't in that bad a shape. I had a little issue with my door hinges. I told you guys I was wanting to get them all adjusted, and I spent 4 hours probably on this passenger rear door, passenger front door, and I got them about as perfect as I could get them. Had the fender on a couple different times to make sure the doors forward and back were kind of where they should be, and I had it really, really nice. And I thought, well, all I got to do now is knock my pins out and it's a done deal. Well, the fronts are pretty easy because the door stops right here and the fender covers this up. So with the fender off, you just knock the pins out. Not a big deal. Now the back, of course, the hinges are put away in my truck so I can put new bushings in them. The door goes around like this, and you have no room to get in here to get to the bottom of the pin. And the pin on this bottom hinge is recessed into the hinge, and the pin's really long, great big long thing. This one here is just a short normal kind of pin, and it goes up this way with the door on top of it. So I thought, well, I'll just scribe the hinge where it bolts to the door and go ahead and take the door off and then knock the pins out. But I'm going to tell you what, this pin, this whole hinge was so frozen that the pin would not come out. This one, I tried using a punch and knocking the pin through. It wasn't happening. I had the floor jack with a bolt going through that hole and beating the top of the hinge before it finally broke loose and started coming out. And you talk about a nightmare. So basically, said screw it, I'm gonna have to redo both back doors, put both front doors back on, and I'll do all this before I reprime them in case I get any nicks and all that kind of stuff. And what I'll do with my hinges is I'll just set the pin in. I won't sink them in, I won't press them in all the way, I'll just set them in so that way I can get the doors adjusted, then just pull the pins and take them off. Then of course the doors and the car will get painted with their share of hinges on all corners, all doors. Then hopefully all I gotta do is put them in, knock the pins in, because you got plenty of room to hit the pins to knock them in. One goes up and this one goes down, and they should end up being right where I left them. Who knows? Anyway, it's been a frustrating weekend on the car. I always get a weekend that I can, you know, come here and work, and seems like I can't get anything done. But you know, one door is done. Oh, sorry, I said you know again. One door is done and ready for reprime. This one's just about done. Got 2 more doors and 2 fenders. Whew. We'll get back with you.
Brennan's wife had gone to town for pigeons flew by, and when she saw her Willie, she commenced to weep and cry. He said, "Hand to me that timpani," and as soon as we was done, she handed him a blunderbuss from underneath her cloak, and it's Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, brave and undaunted was young Brennan on the moor. Now with this loaded blunderbuss, the truth I will unfold. Well, he made the mare to tremble, and he robbed him of his gold. 100 pounds was offered for his apprehension there, so he took horse and saddle to the mountains there. And it's Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor, brave and undaunted, young Brennan on the moor. Now Brennan being an outlaw on the mountains high, with cavalry and infantry who taken they did try, but he laughed at them with scorn till he last was said by a force-hearted young man he was cruelly betrayed. And it's Brennan on the moor, Brennan on the moor.
Drink a pint or 2. Oh, I ain't care for another one. I don't mind if I do. Oh, drink a pint or 2.
Well, I ran into some problems. Door number 3. Doors 1 and 2 had their own little problems, not as bad as I, could have thought. This one, however, I remember that this door from right here through here was a nice gouge, and all the way through here, and maybe up here. Of course, the nice place right on the body line was shoved in. It took me forever to get that body line straightened out. Of course, to go blocking it out. And I always wondered why I had trouble with this part of the fender being out. Then I could knock it down. Well, then I had a big hump right here. Well, the reason is this whole door skin was shoved in. Now, really, this door skin, I could have used more time and because I had these creases that I pulled them out, but the whole thing was just down just a little bit. If this was a readily available door skin, it should have been replaced. So you can see a little bit of my guide coat in there. I keep guide coating it, going over it, finding the low spots, so we're getting there. It's getting there. A little bit more, some imperfections, a couple places. This is a high spot, and it's high for a reason. It's because that's where the door is supposed to be. And this here. Of course, where I did all my welding and all that, this one was pretty rough. I remember this door. Now, this door was a nightmare, and it just keeps continuing. There we go. Got that door straightened out. Many imperfections. You'll get 3 good coats of full wet primer, at least from here down. Everything else looks pretty decent. So there's 3 doors down. 3 doors down. I'll probably get a copyright infringement for saying that. 1 door left to go. A little bit of guide coat. showing here and there. I work on blocking this down a little bit more. If you can see, there's a little bit right there. Yeah, a little bit right there. So right there. Anyhow, get this block down. We'll be ready to put these doors in primer. All right, all doors are blocked out, ready for some re-primering, wet sanding, and refixing more imperfections, which I'm sure that's going to be the case on this door right here. You know, there was major reconstruction and reconstruction and reconstruction, but I've got her pretty slicked out, I think. 3 good wet coats of primer on at least the bottom sections of all these doors, and over any other imperfections that I might have fixed. This one turned out really nice. I believe this was the better door of the 4. There we go, 4 doors down. Can't say nothing about that now, can you? Anyway, we have 2 fenders left to start blocking out. I had 100 hours in this fender, over 60 hours in that fender, just to get it to that point. From stripping the paint, fixing all the metal, the body work, and the primer. I have 160 hours in these 2 fenders. Now, I'm not the fastest guy in the world. Oh, we've been over all that. So there's going to be some reconstruction and stuff on these fenders, so they're going to take a little bit of time. Get those knocked out. I have yet to do the rocker panels on the car, and I know there's a dent of some sort on that side that I missed, but I'll find it and I'll fix it. But I think I'll end this video here, just for fear of making it too long and boring for you. But I got myself a little bit choked up. The song came on and I'm not going to play it for you. I don't want to get dinged for anything. It's kind of Conway Twitty song, and it's called "That's My Job," and it's about it losing his daddy, you know. And I know a lot of you have lost family members and people you've loved and adored, and sometimes it didn't agree with much. I spent a lot of time not agreeing with my pops. So, but you know, he's been gone a couple of years now, so it's a little tough on me once in a while. But anyway, take your chance while you have it, and love everybody you can. Because once they're gone, they're gone. So on that note, oh yeah, I have bushing repairs to do. Put all the doors back on. After I get my fenders blocked out, I'll build all my stuff, build the whole car, put it all back together, make sure it's all lined up, and I'll be able to knock my pins out like I had originally planned. And we'll pull this engine and transmission out. We're getting pretty close to painting this thing. Pretty close. Anyways, thanks everybody for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you can, if you liked it. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. That's cool too. Hope you guys that are watching this and got your own projects, they're going as well as they can go. And hope you guys have a really good time at it, I suppose. Okay. Thanks a lot, everybody.